Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, let's learn more about something that not everyone can easily recognize. Behind the calm, sometimes quiet appearance of men is an inner world full of secrets that they rarely share. One of the things that men rarely reveal is their special standards and preferences when looking for a woman who makes them passionate. Things that seem simple but contain the power to arouse attraction. And sometimes these factors can change their entire relationship. You may be surprised to know that sometimes it is not the physical beauty or outstanding talent, but the subtle characteristics, the small actions in daily life that are the deciding factors that make men unable to take their eyes off. 1. That is a talkative woman. Many men say that to them. Talkative women are extremely attractive and seductive. Talkative women are often more comfortable and open in the bedroom. This helps men feel comfortable and express themselves more easily in that matter. 2. Short-legged women. Short legs are indeed a disadvantage in women's appearance. But few people know that short-legged women make men more interested in bed. In fact, many men confess that women's short legs make them more passionate. Not only that, short-legged women will easily coordinate with men in many positions because of their flexibility and agility. And many men criticize that women with long or not plump legs make them feel vulnerable and reduce their desire. 3. A little plump women. Men say they always feel very lucky to marry a plump wife, because plump women will help men feel pampered and loved. It is the plump body of women that makes men feel more excited and attracted. And women with a little flesh will easily respond to men's intimate, close gestures. Men also confess that with plump women, it will be easier to satisfy them. The charm of these curves not only creates a feeling of excitement but also makes it easier for both to express intimate gestures. Women with a little flesh not only bring emotional satisfaction but also help the relationship become more attached and warm. 4. Women with bare faces. Men like naturalness in the bedroom. Women with bare faces will make men feel simple, comfortable but also full of excitement. Women who pay too much attention to makeup should keep in mind that for men, it is not only beautiful with lipstick that makes them passionate. Not only that, many men find it very annoying when the other person wears makeup when having sex with them, because men always think that sex comes from instinct, the most natural things. Therefore, a face that is somewhat fake with makeup will reduce their interest and desire. 5. That is the type of bad girl. Although they do not openly admit it, men often whisper to each other about the attraction of bad girls. As long as they are not a real bad girl, the object that they are fascinated by is the girl who is always aware of her beauty and uses it to actively seduce men. The girl who is full of skills and experience in bed to please them every time they go to bed. The rest, as we know, the real bad girls, who always take advantage of men's wallets to entertain, shop and enjoy for themselves, are not the objects they are interested in. 6. Women who have given birth. Many women are somewhat uncomfortable, even hesitant to have sex with their husbands after giving birth, because they feel self-conscious about their bodies not being the same as when they were young. But in fact, men think that women who have had children give them a feeling of excitement in the bedroom. In these women, men always feel comfortable, flexible and experienced. If you have followed this far, please leave a comment. I want happiness. That you will give us more motivation to make more meaningful videos. If you have not clicked like, please give the video one like. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel to support. We will give you a heart. Thank you very much. 7. That is the mysterious girl. All men admit that they are fascinated by the mystery of women. When faced with the mask that women create for themselves. They feel stimulated to immediately explore to satisfy their curiosity and passion for conquest. Not only with women who have just met, but even when they are in love. The girl who always knows how to keep a little mystery for herself to make her other half curious is the one that men are most fascinated by. Not the superficially beautiful girl. The mysterious look of women always attracts the attention and fascination of men. The curiosity and desire to explore the mask that women create makes them feel excited and eager to conquer. Even in long-term relationships, girls who know how to keep a little mystery are always the ones that men are most fascinated by. Because they are not only beautiful but also bring surprise and excitement in love. That Saturday, Emily decided to attend a meeting with a new group of friends that she had just connected with through social networks. Although Emily was not the type to attend large gatherings, she felt something special this time. There was a boy named Tom in the group, who Emily had heard was very witty and always made everyone laugh with his interesting stories. She felt that this would be a good opportunity to see if she could integrate into this group of friends. But in fact, she was still a little worried, partly because of her strange appearance, and partly because she was not someone who opened up easily. The meeting took place at a rather crowded coffee shop. When Emily entered the shop, she immediately attracted everyone's attention. She was wearing a big coat, a wide-brimmed hat, and big black glasses, making it difficult for others to see her face clearly. The friends in the group looked at each other. No one could guess who this girl was. But Tom, who was sitting near the door, was the first person who could not take his eyes off Emily. "Who is this? She seems like an interesting girl," Tom thought, his curiosity rising. Emily did not hesitate to walk to the group table, greeting them with a gentle smile. However, she did not immediately join the conversation, but stood to the side, listening and observing everyone. Emily's silence made Tom feel that she was even more mysterious and unpredictable. Tom tried to talk to her, but Emily only answered vaguely, not easily revealing any information. "So, Emily, what do you like to do on the weekends?" Tom asked, intending to start a new story. Emily just shrugged, then replied, "Well, I like to do normal things. But I don't always want to share about myself." That answer made Tom feel confused. He tried to switch to another tactic, hoping to discover something about Emily. "You like to travel, huh? Go to strange places, enjoy new atmospheres?" Tom continued, his voice full of excitement. Emily looked straight into Tom's eyes, but did not answer right away. She smiled strangely and said, "I like places that no one knows about. Places that only I can discover. Secrets are the best gifts I have." Tom felt stunned. No one could easily approach Emily. And that made him feel that he had to challenge himself even more to find out who this girl really was. After a while, Tom decided that he had to change his approach if he was not to give up. He turned to Emily with a determined look. Without any hesitation, "So, would you like to go to dinner with me? I know a great restaurant. The food is delicious, and I think you would like it," Tom suggested. Emily looked at him, her eyes slightly surprised, but then she smiled softly. "Dinner? I guess you have to promise not to ask about my past." "Everything is a mystery." Tom nodded without hesitation. "Okay. I promise I won't ask anything about your past. As long as you agree to go out to eat with me." So, the two of them left the coffee shop and went to a fancy but quiet restaurant, where there were only a few close friends and the atmosphere was very pleasant. Tom started telling Emily about the dishes he had tried during his travels. From exotic dishes in faraway lands to happy memories when he accidentally spilled food. Emily just listened silently. Sometimes she laughed lightly at Tom's witty stories. But she never revealed anything about herself. She found it interesting to see Tom constantly trying to make her open up. But Emily kept her composure, not revealing anything. After all, secrecy was her most important weapon. By the end of the meal, Tom felt like he had failed to discover Emily. However, there was no denying that she made him feel extremely impressed and wanted to know more. So he decided to give it one last try, hoping that Emily would open up unexpectedly. "So, can't you tell me a secret?" Tom asked, his voice a little nervous, but also hopeful. Emily looked into Tom's eyes for a long time and then smiled brightly. "Okay, you want to know my secret? I'll tell you a secret. I really like eating bread. But I always keep it a secret. Because I don't want anyone to think I'm too simple." That answer made Tom laugh non-stop. He couldn't believe that Emily could keep such a simple yet interesting secret. It was just a simple dish. But Emily made it more special than ever. Tom realized that the mystery Emily created wasn't to hide anything bad, but to keep this relationship fresh and interesting. Tom realized that Emily's mystery was not only in the way she kept silent or answered vaguely, but in the way she made him feel curious and eager to learn more about the things she never said. That made Emily even more attractive and interesting in his eyes. And from there, Emily not only fascinated Tom with her mysterious appearance, but he also wanted to explore with her many other, secret, hobbies. From bread to endless humorous stories, from which they built an interesting and colorful relationship that no one expected. The two began to share more interesting things with each other. And gradually they understood that it was the little secrets that made the real connection in this relationship. The confessions of men about the type of women they are most passionate about in the bedroom may surprise many women. But it also helps us better understand the psychology and desires of men in relationships. The important thing is that each person needs to respect and understand the other person, thereby creating a bond and harmony, instead of just focusing on the form. And finally, women should remember, in the bedroom, what makes men feel most satisfied is the feeling. What is most genuine and easily moved. It doesn't matter how beautiful or perfect it is, but be confident in yourself. Women, signs that a man is discouraged in a long-distance relationship. Let's find out together. In a long-distance relationship, geographical distance sometimes means emotional distance. When a man is no longer patient and enthusiastic as before, he will show changes that make you worry. There are very small signs but clearly reflect his fatigue and boredom with this love. That may be the time when you should carefully consider the relationship to find a way to mend or make the best decision for both of you. 1. It's a conversation that doesn't last long. You don't have many options for chatting when you're in a long-distance relationship. You can only talk on the phone, video chat or text. When you have the chance to chat, he makes it impossible for the two of you to talk for long for many different reasons. When you're in a long-distance relationship, if he keeps shortening the conversation for many reasons, this is a sign that the interest and connection are gradually fading. Impatience and less time spent together can signal that the relationship is having problems. 2. He's disconnected. Instead of maintaining the habit of talking to each other every day, the time you and your partner talk will become less and less. The decrease in frequency is a clear sign of a broken relationship. When you're far away, all you can do is communicate and converse via social networks and the phone. So the distance between the two of you will gradually widen and become more blurred. When he communicates less and less frequently, this is a clear sign of a rift in the relationship. In a long-distance relationship, Communication is an important connection. And when this connection is neglected, the geographical distance also leads to emotional distance, causing feelings to gradually fade. 3. He's not proactive. Usually, men will proactively text their partner to ask about and chat. However, if for a long time they no longer actively ask about and superficially reply to your messages, it is a sign of the man's wavering and lack of interest in you. Men in long-distance relationships are often impatient and will start to want to gradually separate you from their lives. 4. He doesn't talk about the future. Couples in love often think about the future. And when the topic of talking about the future makes the man avoid it, it is time for you to reconsider this relationship. Talking about the future is a way to set goals together. Work towards them to try and cultivate. But if the man is no longer excited about this, it is also the time when he is gradually leaving you. If he avoids talking about the future, this is a clear sign that he is no longer interested in the relationship. This topic not only helps both of you build common goals but also shows commitment. When there is a lack of interest in the future, you should reconsider the relationship to avoid future pain. This is a very recognizable characteristic in men who want to end the relationship. When in a long-distance relationship, a man's fatigue and discouragement come not only from the geographical distance but also from the challenges and feelings of disconnection in the relationship. These signs of discouragement can be a warning for both of you to look back. Share and solve the problem before things become irreparable. It is important to listen and understand each other, because only when both sides try and trust can love overcome all distances and challenges. Mike and Chloe had a sweet love story, like a fairy tale in their college years. Every time they met, their smiles were the lights that brightened the dark days. They loved each other not only with sweet words but also with sincere actions, trying every day to share, listen and nurture that love to grow little by little. But then, life is not always easy, and sometimes big decisions make love face the biggest challenge. Mike, after graduating, received a great job opportunity in a faraway city. This was the opportunity he had waited for his whole life. But it was also the decision that made him leave Chloe. From then on, their relationship began to enter a new phase, long-distance love. At first, although the geographical distance separated them, their love still kept its warmth through long phone calls, intimate messages, and evening video calls. But no one expected that, once the distance became too long, the emotional connection would gradually fade. They both knew that long-distance relationships weren't easy. Every time they talked on the phone, Mike tried to keep things the same. But gradually, the conversations began to change. They didn't talk for as long as they used to. The long evenings they used to spend together now passed by like a dream. Chloe tried to keep things the same, but Mike started making excuses. "I'm tired. Go to sleep," he'd say when she'd just started talking about her day. Every time, Chloe felt like a shadow was slowly creeping over their relationship. She began to wonder if Mike's indifference was a sign that his love was fading. As time passed, the situation did not change. Chloe realized that she was the one who had to initiate contact. She texted, called, and he still only responded vaguely. Every time Chloe shared about her new days, about the interesting things she experienced, Mike only responded with short sentences. Lacking interest, he no longer actively asked, no longer curious about the little things in her life. Instead, Chloe felt the silence from Mike. He no longer cared about the details like before. Chloe began to feel like a part of his life was gradually being erased. Sometimes, Chloe wondered if she had done something wrong. Why was Mike so cold? She still remembered the times when the two of them sat together, talking about the future, about the trips together, the life plans that they were both excited about. But now, every time she mentioned the future, Mike avoided it. She asked him about their future plans, about when they would see each other again, but he answered vaguely, avoiding the subject as if it no longer mattered. Chloe felt a surge of pain, as if the future they had built was now crumbling. Mike's silence was a clear rejection of the plans they had made. Finally, one night, Chloe decided to have a frank talk with Mike. She called him, her voice trembling, but she knew she couldn't continue living in this ambiguity. "Mike, I feel like you've been distancing yourself from me too much," she began. "I don't feel like you care about me anymore. You don't check in with me every day. You don't want to talk about the future anymore. Where are we headed?" Mike was silent for a long moment. And then he sighed. "Chloe, I really don't know what to say," he said, his voice low. "I feel tired. Work, life. I just want time for myself. I don't feel like we can continue like before." Mike's words were like a slap in the face to Chloe. She couldn't believe her ears. How could things change so quickly? The love she had devoted all her heart to for so long now became a distant story. She understood that when love no longer had motivation, when two people no longer worked towards a common goal, the relationship could not last. The two sat in silence for a long time, not saying anything more. Chloe knew that it was time for her to make a decision. Even though it was painful, she loved Mike, but she also loved herself and couldn't continue living in a relationship that was only vague. She couldn't hold on to someone who didn't want to hold her hand anymore. And so, Chloe decided to break up. Not because she didn't love Mike anymore, but because she knew that sometimes loving someone wasn't always enough to keep them. There are relationships that need to end so that both can find their own paths, so that they don't continue to push each other into hopeless pain. She knows that this is the right decision, even though her heart is aching every minute. After that breakup, Chloe spent a lot of time taking care of herself. She learned to stand up, learned to love herself again, and never forgot that love is a journey. And sometimes, when we go too far, love will have to stop so that both can find their own new path. Her and Mike's story is not the end, but a new beginning, where each person will walk on their own path. If you find the video useful, please share it with more people, as well as subscribe to the channel. Like, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next video.